right, we are here today. Go ahead and start, Christian, if you want.
Oh, what am I doing?
Right. Just putting them together.
Okay.
Like making like a necklace out of them.
Oh, got it.
Yeah. So today we are here with Christian Poling with Steadfast Mortgage. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
We are on our 9th episode of Jenga with Jeremy. I usually say it backwards, so I got it right this time. Thanks for joining us.
That's the trick. Thanks for having me.
Go here.
I'm focused.
Go here. And then put a big part on small part, and then get after it and pull them through.
So we go a minute?
Yep, see who can do the longest. I think I messed mine up.
Got 20 seconds left.
But we're not doing very good.
Christian is.
I mean, watch it.
I'm competitive.
What if I don't let him get in there?
I'm secretly competitive. Wait, is there even a benefit to going first in Jenga?
Yeah, of course there is. No. This is a good way to start, you know? Oh, let's see if I get that one in there.
Nice.
All right, so I didn't even get close that time. Goodness. All right, so you can either go first or you can have me go first, whichever one you want to do. We'll just stick in there.
It's like the coin toss in the Super Bowl.
That's right, yep.
I did not this year.
Yeah, what was up with that this year?
I would like to go second.
Let's see, I think that was the one that was supposed to come out. Let's start there. All right, so some of them have questions. If there's a question that we get, I would just tell you to read it out and then answer it. And then if there's not one, I'm going to ask you a question.
Okay.
But you can go ahead and start if you want. My first one, because this is what I always think about when I always think you go on a really cool vacation. So I wanted to see, what is your absolute best travel spot or vacation you've ever been on?
I usually say the last one that I've been to is my favorite.
Yeah.
As far as European vacations, we just went to New England 3 weeks ago. It was very cold, but just to kind of get a lay of the land at a different time of year. You know,
Where did you go in New England?
Started in Boston, Salem, drove up to, where did we go? Portland, Maine, which was our favorite.
But that thing was barely in there, huh? That was too easy.
Then we ended in Concord, New Hampshire. We have some friends that teach up there. So
okay.
Yeah, we spent
Nice.
about 2
I've never
weeks.
been in that part of the country. I want to go.
You should go like summer,
it's a tough
fall.
time to go,
first
right?
time. Yeah. This time, I mean,
The
it
winter.
snowed some. I mean, we could get
Yeah.
around easily, but tried
Where was
to,
the place you went to that had the really crazy blue water? What was that lake you went to or whatever? It was somewhere in Europe, wasn't it?
That was in Canada, actually.
Oh, was it Canada? Okay.
Banff National Park, like Calgary, north of Calgary. Yeah, my brother and I took my dad. That was probably 5-6 years ago. Croatia is probably the coolest place I've ever been. It's kind of Italian, but cheaper, and a little Eastern European, which is different because nobody really goes to Eastern Europe for vacation.
Yeah.
So it's a little more exotic, and yeah, just the blue water and great seafood. And
I know, I'm jealous. I want to vacation more. All our vacations are kids' sporting events, which is great. I love, but I would
To
looking
Omaha?
forward to Omaha. There's a lot of good stuff to see there. I'm looking forward to doing a little more vacationing. Like, would you say in the mortgage business you have like a certain niche you like to work with? Like, if there's a certain demographic or that you like, or there's like your comfort zone.
I've been doing it so long, I've worked with all kinds. I mean, I do love first-time home buyers. I mean, I like teaching, I like explaining things and helping them. And they seem to be more grateful and just, they seem to enjoy the process a little more than people that have bought 3 or 4 times bigger houses. But yeah, I think our niche at Steadfast is probably first-timers. I mean, conventional loan type. We don't do a lot of outside the box lending. We're very good at the most traditional types of financing. So, and we get it done fast and we get it done easily. So whatever that translates to as far as.
Yeah, it doesn't necessarily mean to be a first-time home buyer, but.
I might be getting a little daring.
I know.
Early in the game.
I like it. Oh, yeah, it's a little wobbly up top. I know, I keep thinking like, I don't know what we're going to do one time when it gets knocked over like on the 5th try.
Right.
Like, all right, that was fun. We got to answer 3 questions. That's what I'm saying. It usually ends up like you think you're at a spot where it's going to die and then you end up rolling. So I always like to hear, so you live in Nashville and I'm sure there's all kinds of restaurants, but what hidden gem that you'd say in Nashville as far as like a restaurant, and then I got like to piggyback on that question, like another like park or hiking spot or something like that you like to go to?
Restaurants. I used to be able to keep up and go to all the new
crazy now,
places,
isn't it?
and now I feel way behind. There's a new one in Wedgwood, Houston called Iggy's Pasta. Yeah, it's really good.
Iggy's,
It's,
all right.
Yeah, and I don't actually do gluten, but they've got good gluten-free pasta too. Good wine. Locust, have you been there? 12 South. It's not a hidden gem for sure.
12 South,
It's
okay.
like kind of an award-winning spot, but
I know that's it gets a little iffy.
But yeah, Locust is my favorite. It's probably
What kind of food is it?
I've
heard
it's hard to say. It's got some Asian fusion, but the guy is actually Irish or Scottish, and then but he worked in like some fancy restaurant in Copenhagen, and is the main chef now, and has won some awards. That's probably my favorite right now.
That's in 12th South.
Yeah, and then there's a new one in the Gulch, kind of Spanish tapas, Iberian pig. I would try
Iberian
that place.
pig.
Yeah,
I haven't got any of these.
yeah.
Loser.
You're even more behind than I am.
Yeah. And what about like? Is there an outdoor spot or anywhere you've been that's close?
I mean, I live in Germantown, so when I want to walk, I just walk around the neighborhood. I mean, there's so much new construction going on that it's kind of interesting just to walk the streets and see what's
Yeah.
new and what's torn down. And
Yeah.
and they're doing that whole new development on the river, Newhoff. Have you heard of that?
I've not even seen.
Yeah,
that
it's
yet.
cool. It's over kind of by Topgolf, but
I've seen. Okay, I've seen.
yeah.
That. Yeah.
So
I've
we
driven
wander
by
over
that.
there. I like Beeman Park though, which is northwest out of town.
Okay.
Radnor is beautiful, but it's so packed that
Yeah.
you can't even get a parking spot. So
Yeah.
Beeman's probably 20 minutes northwest of Nashville.
Okay.
Like Ashland City Highway.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's quiet and yeah, a little more. You see more out in the country than you actually are.
I've never heard of that.
Yeah.
I'll have to check it out.
Is it my turn?
All right, it's your turn.
Is it? Let's see. Have you started that one already?
Yeah, it didn't. It got a little tight on me.
What's the rule? You can't use two hands?
I don't know. Just don't knock it down. That's the only rule we have.
There we go.
So I watched a good movie recently, Boys in a Boat. What's your best movie you've seen recently? And or a Netflix show?
I'm watching The Bear right now.
That's
It's
not
about
on
a
Netflix
restaurant.
though. It's on Hulu.
Yeah.
I heard that was really good,
It's
but we don't
in
have
season
Hulu. We have
2.
everything else. Like I feel like we pay for a million different subscriptions.
It's kind of
boy.
the chef in Chicago who inherited his brother's restaurant. He's been a chef before, but he inherited this other restaurant that he's trying to bring up from the ground up. And it's kind of behind the scenes, like what goes on in a kitchen
I can't
and all
imagine.
the drama.
Did you ever work in restaurants?
No.
I haven't either. I don't know if I can.
I don't think I could do that.
It's a
I
different
don't-
world, isn't it?
I don't have the patience. The Bear's good. What else are we watching? The British Baking Show.
Those are always good.
That's our guilty pleasure.
Yeah.
Dune. Have
think
you seen
my-
the Dune movie?
I have not.
The new one's coming out, I think, this week.
Oh, I've heard good things about that.
Yeah. They're really long, but I mean, if you're into like fantasy, sci-fi, they're good.
I'm not sure I should do that. It's kind of
What are y'all watching? I'm trying to distract you.
I know. So I'm trying to think. Recently, we haven't watched. My wife watched some Reno show. I should know what it is because she's been watching it like crazy. But it's this lady, and she actually doesn't no demo Reno. That's what it was.
Is that like
It's actually pretty good. It was like I'm just going for this one. It could be bad news. Renovation show, but she doesn't do any demolition. So, but she does a really good job. She's funny and fun, and it's like smaller projects, so it's kind of cool.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to think what else we watched on TV recently. I haven't watched TV.
It's a good thing, probably.
I know. Hockey games. So
I've got a long list. Yeah, I've been watching basketball a lot.
yeah, I don't watch much basketball.
No?
Yeah. Well, you've seen? Well, Tennessee, right?
Tennessee.
They're doing well.
Yeah. Big win. They beat Auburn last night.
Yeah. Well, Auburn was ranked too.
They're 11. We are 4.
Wow. That's crazy.
Yeah. And
Who's Auburn's coach?
Bruce
Is it still
Pearl.
Bruce Pearl?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I was
He
going
got
to say
a-
that,
he
but I
got
didn't
a-
want to sound like an idiot when
he
he's
got
been
a
gone
tech.
for 5 years.
He got a technical foul in the second half.
That's hilarious.
Yeah. We have one guy, Dalton Connect. He outscored Auburn the last 12 minutes.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. He had 39 points. Like, he's supposed to be SEC Player of the Year, maybe.
Wow.
Yeah.
I need to jump in and start watching.
Yeah, now's the time. I mean, it
Yeah.
gets interesting in late February.
Yeah.
Should I go for a question?
So what is, speaking of sporting events, what's the best sporting event you've ever attended?
Sadly, I've never been. Well, UT hasn't been in an SEC championship in a very long time. I did go to the Sweet 16 game. UT played in Madison Square Garden last year, but lost that game. So I feel like the quality of the attendance depends on the outcome of the game.
Right.
I mean,
That's a cool game, though, at Madison Square Garden.
yeah, it was. It was neat to see. We actually got front row seats to a Grizzlies game a couple years ago for a
That's
friend's
cool.
birthday party. Yeah, that was really neat just to be that close, and John
We went
Moran
to,
was right there, and
Yeah.
one of the guys almost fell into us, like shooting a fadeaway shot.
They're huge, huh?
So
I
we
mean,
kinda-
you know they're big, but when you see them in person, you're
Yeah.
like, oh my God, this guy's enormous.
We kind of felt like Jack Nicholson on the sideline, just not that cool.
LA, Memphis, it's all the same.
Yeah.
Same difference. But you went to some big UT football games back in the day.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, the year we won it, I didn't go to the national championship game, but I mean, I went to every home game.
Yeah.
Rushed the field once.
Yeah. Did you find yourself? I did too, and I found myself go down there, hug a couple people, and I was like, "What the hell am I doing?" I'm like, "What do you do?" People
some
were like grabbing
grass, put it in
grass
your
and
pocket.
bushes and stuff. I'm like, "What are we doing here?"
I sadly did not go to the UT Alabama game. Would have probably been up there last year.
Yeah.
But 2022. But I was out of town. My brother makes fun of me for being in Portugal during an Alabama UT game. I'm like,
That's a pretty good trade-off, I think. When obviously there's a lot of mortgage lenders in Nashville, when it comes down to you competing with somebody else, why would you tell somebody like to choose you and your company?
There's not a lot of difference between lender to lender, honestly. So to differentiate yourself, I feel like you have to, pay attention to the client and call them back and text them back and just be on call, basically, for their pre-approval and for their transaction.
Yeah.
So just being accessible and, listen to them and
Yeah.
take the time to explain things.
Yeah.
So I feel like it's a matter of service, and honestly, a lot of people don't provide that.
Yeah.
Surprisingly.
Well, and just for somebody, like I've known you forever and probably realize this, but maybe you don't see it outwardly, but you are very approachable, and people just, I think, feel easy around you. I mean, feel comfortable. And that's not the case to everybody, And I think that if you can put somebody at ease and educate them and be able to get them to where they want to go is a big thing. And I think people probably feel that when they talk to you. Is that you provide them a quote and you provide them information. You don't push them,
Right.
And I think that's cool. That, I think that's a big benefit that you have. And over the time, you probably just naturally do that. But that's
Thank you.
But it's
yeah,
really good.
it's
So,
a stressful process. So I feel like I can take some of that out of the equation, and for the agent, like a lot of my realtors, I want to please them and make it easier on them as well.
Yeah.
So that's why they like to work with me as well, just because, again, there's so much going on. They don't want to have to worry about the loan.
Yeah.
Just it's going to get done. It's going to get done smoothly and stress-free, hopefully. And I mean, things always can come up, but yeah, it's our job to kind of mitigate those problems.
yeah.
Before they,
I mean, it's the same thing for us. It's like if you refer somebody, we want to be able to add to your process, not like make it tougher.
Right.
And be able to say like, oh, thank you for referring me to him. And it's like, so you want to be that way. Is it my turn? I think it's your turn, isn't it?
I think it is.
It's getting wobbly. I mean, just take it wherever you can. We don't care. As far as like your job goes, I know it's been a little more challenging in the last year or so, but what part of your job brings you the most joy?
Yeah, I think I'm a people pleaser by nature, to a fault sometimes. But yeah, I think making people happy, getting them into the house they want, especially, a couple years ago when there were competitive situations, buyers, 10 different people offering on the same house, doing what we can to make them get that house. And making their offers stand out. So yeah, but I think pleasing clients, pleasing agents, is a big part of
You get
what
that one out
motive
for me?
Do what?
You get that one out for me.
Yeah, it's just, I mean, the social aspect of work is fun for me. You know, getting to talk to the realtor. Some of my best friends are real estate agents,
Yeah.
and I happen to be lucky enough to work with them. So,
But yes, go ahead and answer your question. 5-4.
yeah, I mean, I'm just saying, you know, working with agents that I really like and enjoy on a daily basis. Like, a lot of people can't say that. Like, I get to work.
That's the same thing with us. I mean, and that's what, there's times that I get stressed out and I'm like, oh, my job's tough, or, you know, I would prefer to be doing something else. And then when I sit back and really think about it, is I have relationships with people like you and everybody, you know, my clients, my referral partners, and they're my friends. You know, and it's like I get to talk to these people every day. There's always, you know, nobody loves insurance, and there's that part of it that you got to work around. And it's the same thing.
Yeah, nobody
like the
likes
mortgage stuff and the you know, the underwriting requirements and all that stuff.
Right.
Is like nobody loves that, but you get to, you know, work with people that you like, team up with, you know, referral partners that you really care about, and so that's really cool. I know I love all the travel stuff you do. So when you traveled, what is the most like adventurous thing you've done? Have you done anything crazy like on your trips, like skydive or?
I've actually hang glided in Switzerland once. The guide, obviously not by myself, but we basically drove up. It was in the Alps, obviously, but a place called Interlaken, which means between two lakes. So you basically drive up this hill in a van with these guides, and then they kind of teach you what to hold on to, and then they say in broken English, we're going to run off this hill, and then you're hang gliding. But after you're up there, I mean, it's beautiful. It was the coolest thing. I mean, I would do it again. I'm older now, but
so you're locked in like underneath somebody. Is that how you are?
You're
next to them?
side by side, and they're kind of steering.
Underneath wouldn't work.
Yeah, but I've seen a YouTube video of the same place.
So the person's not locked in?
They were not secured, and they basically were
hanging?
holding on to. So I'm glad. I don't know if I'd go back to the same place, but I would do hang gliding again for
So
sure.
they locked you in though?
Yeah,
that's good. That's
you
awesome.
feel. I mean, it's quiet. You can't really tell that you're flying. I mean, there's what's holding you up. I mean, it's you try not to think about that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But
that's awesome.
yeah, that's probably the most. I've never skydived or even scuba dived, but I think hang gliding is probably the craziest.
I haven't done
thing.
hang gliding. Try it out.
Yeah,
So
they did in Chattanooga.
I'm not a risk taker, but I'm like, I need to try more things. Like, you know, maybe somewhere in the middle. I don't know if I want to jump out of a plane, but like hot air balloon ride or something.
You could run off a hill. I mean, I think that's...
Yeah, and run off a hill and just,
And
if the guy was like making me, and I'll just take off. Well, thanks for joining us, man.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
So just tell everybody how to track you down if they want to get more information from you.
I've got a website. It's just christianpoling.com with one L. Steadfastmortgage.com. You can also find me there. Pretty easy to find online.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Thanks a bunch, man. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Took me down. I knew I was in trouble. You were steady. I knew when and then the last one I was like, I'm going to give it a whirl. I knew it was trouble.
You gave it to me.
So, we'll get a pic real quick. I did not give it to you.